You're still watching the Afia Morning Show, and thank you for staying tuned. It is a bright yet cool morning in the cold city of Enugu, Nigeria. I'm Nathalie, Ukwu, and of course, Oji is here.
Hi.
Man and woman in black.
Yeah.
Today.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Happy Wednesday.
Happy WCW to me.
To you.
Yes.
Yeah. Happy that's not to you, by the way. How was your night rest? I wanted to say something, but...
Well, my night was fine. In case you want to complicate matters. My night was fine.
How was
Thank
your
you.
sleep, by the way? That's even the right
How was your
question.
night, Oji?
My sleep was nice.
Oh, great.
It was great.
Okay, good to know. We're not here alone. We're also joined in the studio by Dr. Ambrose Iboke, Chairman Guild of Public Affairs Analysts of Nigeria, Enugu chapter. Dr. Iboke, it's always so good to have you. Good morning.
Thank you. It's good to be here. Thank God I'm not wearing black.
So you're diluting everything, huh?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Don't worry, by the end of this interview, we'll be sufficiently, what's the word now? We initiate you into the black culture.
Thank you very much. I'm already black.
Okay, I wanted to wink now, then I remember that I don't know how to wink. So I don't look like I'm having an attack. Okay, let's begin our review this morning with blueprints. INEC Chair Yakubu makes history, hands over to Umbu after 10 years. Abamuche Umbu, after 10 years, have to get used to that, presents 2 books on election management, innovations in electoral technology. Tinubu confers CON on outgoing electoral umpires boss. Federal government seeks NAS approval for $2.35 billion in new external loan. Tinubu declines assent to transport tech, library trust fund bills. NNPCL has replied queries over unaccounted 210 trillion naira, according to the Senate. Kano among Nigeria's fastest growing revenue states, and official remarks. On this Nigeria, front and center, Mr. President, I resign. Tinubu accepts resignation of Minister Nnaji over allegations of certificate forgery. Ex-minister blames political detractors. INEC Yakubu exits. Abamuche Umbu now acting chair. And of course, federal government seeks $2.35 billion loan, $500 million sukuk in bridge budget gap refinance Eurobonds. Benin Palace rejects Iyaloja for Edo markets, warns against the cultural imposition. On Daily Independent, despite rising foreign exchange inflows, debt payments squeezing fiscal space. Finally, minister accused of certificate forgery resigns. 2 out of every 3 Nigerian children suffer food poverty, according to UNICEF. And of course, no going back on strike, ASU tells federal government. Lastly here, 2027, failure is not an option. We must compete, win, according to ADC.
First, daily. End of an era. Tinubu honors Yakubu as Abamuche Umbu takes over at INEC. President confers national honor on outgoing INEC boss after turbulent tenure. Minister Nnaji resigns amid certificates forgery scandal. Tinubu accepts resignation. Senate okays 10 years passport ban for Nigerians jailed abroad. Dangote Pengasen dispute threatens investor confidence, says Kuka and others as they warn. Obi to Lagos government. Show mercy, not might, in trade fair demolitions. Moving over to The Guardian. North Central. Anxiety lingers over insecurity fate of displaced persons. Abbas, Abia lawmaker clash over Nnamdi Kanu's health condition. Natasha returns to Senate after 6 months suspension. And 2027, Tinubu sheds political baggage as embattled Minister Nnaji resigns. Moving over to The Punch. Countdown to 2027, Tinubu to pick new INEC chair this week. Yakubu steps aside. President consults Council of States selection process under spotlight. Displaced Borno residents recount Boko Haram invasion. How Abbas intervention stalled minority leaders' impeachment. World Bank dismisses Nigeria's single-digit inflation target. Courts kill 4 in Lagos Ogun communities. Tinubu access 2 National Assembly bills over policy clash. Lastly, police pensioners rally for protest after talks collapse.
Quite interesting headlines and 2 major stories. A new acting INEC national chair, and not to forget, The biggest news in Nigeria that has seen the Minister of Innovation, Science and Technology, Uche Nnaji, resign. Now, Dr. Ambrose, according to him, he is not resigning because he's admitting guilt in the certificate forgery allegation, but for personal reasons to ensure the integrity is maintained during the ongoing legal proceedings, and of course to protect the sanctity and integrity of the perception of the Tinubu-led administration as the case progresses. What's your take, Dr. Ambrose?
The minister's speechwriter is very good. That's what I will say, because those words are catched from the PR, very good PR angles. But no Nigerian minister has ever resigned because of this kind of thing. Because while the minister was writing that, I mean, his men were all over television stations talking about defending him. So, well, at that level anyway, people are not sacked most of the time. People are just asked to resign because remember that the presidency has also said that they were not going to comment on it or the court case is over. So I don't know what's transpired within 24 hours. But this is a lesson in a political journey. When I talk to young people, I used to tell them, you know, there's this cliche that is misleading. That say, who school help? I used to tell the school they help people. You know, when you think money is everything, at a point in your life, you will notice that when you get the money, you ask yourself, what next? And you may want to go into now passion because you have conquered survival. You want to go into pursuing your passion. And some of the things you didn't do when you were younger will be mitigating factors against you. And it has happened throughout. Like in our first, when the Fourth Republic started, the first Speaker of the House of Reps we got, Salisu Buhari, went as far as forging his age and some other things. He was just, the Constitution said he must be 35 years old before he became a House of Reps member. But he was just, 29, and he lied. We also seen the problem of the first Senate president that time, Evan. Just because whether there was S in his name or it was him and some certificate issue, it was that he was Evan or Evans. Cost him a Senate seat. We have also seen people married in certificate controversy. A friend of mine who was supposed to make commissioner in the James Iboris government in Delta State, who was not made, so he was telling me the story of how he missed out being a commissioner because he was not a graduate. So these things, examples keep coming, and it's good that our young people learn from this kind of thing, because the Minister for Science and Technology, for example, even was up to 400 level in your school, and you were asking, you didn't take the exam, you failed according to UNN, and they have not come to debunk that. There were letters released by the University of Nigeria telling these things. So if you were not, you didn't do it. At this age, it's becoming to haunt, and it's good that he goes to court now. They let the battle move to court. Let him clear his name, because UNN is standing. Yesterday, there were letters released from the registrar of the university. The university is the owner of the certificate, and they know who they gave the certificate and who they didn't. From the VC to the registrar to the correspondence, it was said that they didn't issue the certificate. 2 years ago, there was a defense. 2 years ago, somebody wrote that the registrar told somebody to write on the behalf of, but the registrar has also came to deny it. So there are too many contradictions in the certificate provided by the minister, and UNN has said they didn't provide that. That somebody who hasn't a carryover cannot graduate, and I mean that is simple logic in any university system. So it's not about photo book, whether you're in the photo book of the graduation year or whether any other correspondence in that matter or any other material exhibition you might provide. The issue is that if you didn't graduate, you're not offered a certificate. That's a mama matter too. I graduated from the school. Also Nathalie too.
I did as well.
So we know these things are simple. Even to get transcripts on this, it's not difficult. UNA does what they call i-transcripts. So you just apply and then you go get. So a friend of mine just like last month got his transcript at UK University. So these things are not hard. So if not for politicization, what is the big deal? UNN, one of the easiest way to get transcripts. The transcript, this thing is online. You can do everything online and get it. But this is a lesson in politics that some people are saying it's political witch hunt. Whatever it is, whether it's your village people or your church people or your neighbor or whoever that goes to discover your skeleton. If you have skeleton, the skeletons will be unearthed. So it's always good not to even store any skeletons, because at the appropriate time, those who want to use the skeleton will bring it out and use it. So crying that it's political witch hunt and all those is the same material. The material thing is that the certificates you tender, both the NYSC, which has been also been declared to be forged, and where did you get them from? So clear your name. Apart from losing the position as a minister, you also need to clear those facts. And I want, when it started, and I saw Premium Times report, and people were poo-pooing it and saying all kinds of things. I say, don't know Premium Times. I mean, in our field, in the media space, we respect Premium Times for investigation. And when they come out with such painstaking this thing for 2 years, you force them at your peril. And that is what has, been shown. I remember when I teach students about, the power of the press, I usually use the news magazine that kind of exposed the first speaker in the Fourth Republic of the House of Representatives, Alice Buhari. The title, I can still remember it vividly. They put his picture, magazine those days now, they'll just put your picture, and the title was this. If you go online, you still see it. The Face of a Liar. That was the title. With Alice Buhari, it's big there, and they wrote The Face of a Liar. His age, his University of Toronto. He said he went to University of Toronto. He didn't go. Although they did a very deep investigation, was exposed. The guy was removed straight on as speaker. Until today, he has not got his political career back on track.
Investigations are still underway, but there's a saying that if you say a lie frequently enough, you yourself might even start to believe
No, the Premium Times have concluded that investigation. Investigation is not on the way.
I mean the court case at the minister.
Well, the court case is about, in our media space, the investigation, in fact, both the resignation and every case was based on Premium Times investigation. And the Premium Times did not do speculation. They actually went to court and got the affidavit. And it was one of the issues at the paragraph 13 was one of the things they used, which says that where they deposed affidavit by the minister, said he wants to mandate UNN to give him his strike and his certificate. And UNN has refused to give him certificate. So if you say UNN has refused to give the certificate, then which certificate did you tender? So there are two cases. It's not about graduation now, or about but you tender the university certificate, which you yourself agreed on affidavit 13, which Premium Times relied on to make those conclusions. That if you say these people refuse to give it and you tender the certificate, then where did the certificate come from?
Okay, let's get to the courtroom, right? It's an honorable thing that he resigned eventually. At least he has set precedents, right? But section 465 of
Kemi Adosho resigned too.
Who?
Minister for where she was married in the NYSC issue. The same NY, this thing is becoming the same NY issue. Kemi Adosho, former minister under Buhari, former minister of finance, also resigned. So it's not a precedent.
So, for section 465 of the criminal code, punishable up to 3 years in jail term if you forge a document, a criminal offense, by the way. So could Mr. Nnaji be allowed? Because why I'm using the word allowed is because APC, once you are APC, your sins are forgiven. Will he be allowed to face his criminal offense in the law court? As stated right here, is punishable 3 years in jail.
Well, there are two dichotomies. If, for example, there are two explanations that will take place. If for example, University of Nigeria and Nsukka wants to pursue the case, University can launch a legal, journey and say, look, you forged our certificate, you disreputed our institution, and you brought us to ridicule by dragging us all this. And they want to pursue it in court, or any other concerned citizen, may take NYC also may take him to court if they wish to. So if these two entities whose certificates were said allegedly forged decided to pursue the case and bring to a logical conclusion, then they can get this kind of judgment that the law says. But sometimes these things have political twists. They may say, okay, the soft landing, all those things. So they may say, oh, he has resigned. Okay, so let's not leave him, this and that. But if you pursue to a logical conclusion and is found guilty, then its future political career is now shut off. That is a logical. So, just like what Nebo said in his independence speech, no, I think it's May 29th speech, May 29th. He was telling the opposition that they were accusing him of wanting to run a one-party. He said, no, that he's a Democrat. He will not want to run, but that it will be a pleasure to watch you in disarray. You know, so if you have political opposition, the opposition will want you to be dead and out. So it's not nice. It's not a nice thing. It's not the politics is not a nice party. So if you're in opposition and you fail, then they will want you to be down and out. So the opposition party may say let them pursue to a logical conclusion, and once they get so that they can take him out of equation. If it's in the same shoe, we do the same thing. So it's not been it's a battle for supremacy here. And it's like a wrestling match. And
where does minister, or rather former minister, as he has now been rebranded, go from here?
Well, as you said in your introduction, if I didn't hear him say that, but if he said that he wants to clear his name, and then they let the battle begin in courts. So he can sue too. So he can decide to sue Premium Times, he can decide to sue UNN, or he can decide to sue NYSC.
Do you see
I
him
was actually waiting for that litigation.
Do you see him attempting to sue?
No, I don't think so. From what Premium Times presented,
I was waiting for him to go ahead to sue these people.
You know, from the evidence Premium Times presented.
Yeah.
You know, you won't go as journalists. You won't go and publish those guys if you're not sure of your facts.
It was already getting an injunction for them not to publish his records and so.
Who will give him the but the court refused.
I'm just saying, because for him to approach
who
the
is
court for that.
actually, now we understand that Minister Nnaji is also quite key in the political space in Enugu, as he did contest under the All Progressives Congress for the position of governor. And all through this period, all this while, people have been wondering what he's going to do in 2027, if again he's going to declare, if he's going to want to run for office. What does this revelation mean? His resignation as well for governorship, for politics, for all of his aspirations.
Well, he has not told you he's resigning from politics. From the evidence also thrown during the weekend, from last week, you could see that his INEC form, the highest qualification he wrote was SSC, Senior School Certificate, SSC. So he didn't put. So some people were now wondering why, minister is not governor, where you just say, oh, okay, the highest level of qualification is SSC. That's what he put in his INEC registration. So the people may what the political opponents may do is to pursue this case to a logical conclusion, get a court conviction that will technically knock him out for 2027, so they can't even contest anything. So then, if they succeed in doing that, then they have knocked him out. And if they get a conviction for forgery, it's knocked out or completely from participating in any election. But if the opposition does not take it up, or whoever is involved does not take it up, can get a conviction, then he can as well do what he did in 2023 by, just taking out his, just saying highest qualification is senior school certificate.
Do you think that a person of Uche Nnaji is dead, done, and finished, or somehow he's going to rise like a phoenix?
Well, I don't know which aspect of life, because it was a business and the other thing. Are you talking politically?
Politics, yes.
Okay, in politics.
Apparently, from the grapevine, yes, he contested the last governorship election, but from the grapevine that he's also eyeing 2027 governorship to be governorship candidate of the APC, right? So politically,
with this, there's it was a high flyer for a while, but with this, it's not going anywhere. Come 2027, because this is in boxing, it's called technical knockouts. This is like a technical knockout, and when you have a technical knockout, it can be in first round, it can be in second round, it can be in third round, or it can even be the last round, which is the 12th round. But when you are knocked out, this fight stops. So this is like a political technical knockout.
In earlier statements by the spokesperson to the former minister, Uche Nnaji, he blamed political desperation and deliberate misinformation for his ordeal. Do you see any political dimension to Uche Nnaji's current situation?
The funny thing was while the minister was resigning, somebody, the minister's aide, spokesperson, was on Channel TV shouting. Was it that his principal did not tell him that the decision that he was going to take? Or was that the minister himself didn't know until he had a meeting with the president that he was going to resign? Because there was like a discord. Why you are defending this? The truth is that there are some things you cannot defend, because defense in this case means to refute. So when you are refuting, you bring a counter evidence to show that this thing is wrong. But we have not seen those things.
You
So
think
any of that thing is harikari.
Do you think he has disappointed?
It's political harikari.
Has he disappointed a lot of his supporters? Because we understand that the appointees might stay, but his aides, what's their
Appointees where?
Perhaps in the office, in the
Of
ministry,
where? Ministry.
in the ministry.
Appointees that are not staff of the ministry.
So what's the effect on the
No, the way
office?
it works is that once you are not all the political appointees go with with their benefactor. So unless those who are now civil servants, civil servants that are not affected by these things. But even the structure of APC, because he's the APC leader before now in Enugu State, the structure of APC is going to definitely change, and a lot of things are going to happen. So people should just buy some popcorn, get some drink. It's going to be a blockbuster movie. This is part 1. Part 2 will soon start.
Okay, away from there, let's leave him alone, as the hashtag said on X. Moving to First Daily. End of an era. Tinubu honors Yakubu with CON. That's in the news as well. As Abamuche Mbu takes over at INEC. Now, she is going to act as the acting chair. And reports here concerning her say that she's a seasoned legal practitioner with over 3 decades of experience working with clients. She is said to hail from Delta State, although she was born in Kano, where she also attended secondary school and graduated from the now Obafemi Awolowo University in 1984 with an LLB in law. What's your reaction to this development? How do you feel about the honor conferred on the outgoing Yakubu and the emergence of a female acting INEC chair, as well as her background?
Well, when we were reading out what you are reading, I just this woman, her trajectory in life looks like my own. You know, we are born somewhere, school somewhere, we hail from somewhere, and so it's good for somebody like that to have the coloration of the Nigerian environment to because that means she understands the country very well. She's Igbo from Delta extraction. Grew up in Kano, schooled in Ife. So you can see she's a complete Wazobia kind of person. Unfortunately, it's just acting capacity, and the substantive chair will be announced very soon. There are rumors, some names have started flying. There's a professor from the North Central that people have been speculating about. There are also people who are promoting somebody. I think some people are promoting somebody from former National Commissioner from Cross River. Some people are doing everything, at the end of the day, it's still the president that would make that appointment and send to the Senate for confirmation.
And that takes us straight to the punch. Countdown to 2027. Tinubu to pick new INEC chair this week. Now, the big question for many people has been, should the president be picking the INEC chair?
Well, it's not about should or shouldn't. That is what the law says. So if we want to change that, we need to change the law. So he nominates. And then some of my arguments in the past have always been that process should stop. It should not be judges, INEC chairman, and also not be the prerogative of the president. Where there are systems like United States, that is done, but there are a lot of checks and balances. But also, even in the United States, where we have strong systems, in the last few years, we found out that those things have been upturned, kind of, where people were shown the door because they were not aligning with the presidential policies and the rest. So it still remains to be seen. But I believe that the INEC chairman should not be nominated by an executive who is going to contest an election under the same arrangement. So that is already a disadvantage to opposition of the opponents of the incumbent. If I were the incumbent too, I will not change the law. So it favors the incumbent. So why will it change? Why will it change the law? And then the funding of INEC is also a sore point where the executive virtually funds INEC. So also the funding of INEC appointment, those things need to be reviewed in our constitution to see whether there will be maybe the National Assembly or what, so that you need to lobby across party lines to be able to have a common opinion or stand to say, okay, we have adopted this person. So it will be a cross-pollination of assents and then party alignments. But when one person just sits down and nominates, and when a person will be a contestant in the next round of election, it becomes a big issue.
Yeah. So, do you see somewhat a gleam of hope, appointing somebody, an individual who's a political, chair the INEC as a body this period, as people are calling, questioning, and asking, do you think they're going to pay attention to an individual who is apolitical? Because the problem in Nigeria is that when you say some of these individuals, they are politically connected one way or the other.
Everybody's politically connected, but the former President Buhari took it to a low level, where we had card-carrying members of political parties, not just quiet ones, but even people who campaigned online, who were very vociferous about partisanship. Those people were people were made INEC commissioners. That is the lowest of the lows, But before, you even look for people who are not even card-carrying members, so that at least they can maintain some level of our political status. But now we saw INEC commissioners being party members being made INEC commissioner. That's a dangerous trend, and I feel that President Tinubu could reverse that kind of law and trying to elevate the content of character of the new INEC chairman. So we believe that the person should be political, but trying to say at that level that somebody will not have political connections is difficult, because at that level, we have many of your friends in different political parties, in different appointments and the rest. So you cannot even say somebody don't have political connection, but you can say, okay, the person it's not partisan. Okay, maybe it doesn't belong to any political party.
Well, it's a hard truth to chew at this point in time, even swallow, because it's a bone of contention. A president, Bola Tinubu, wants to protect his interests too. So
that is the game. That's why we said make it institutional to nominate the chairman. Because once you have it that it's the president that nominates, then you will keep on having this the INEC chairman beholden to the incumbent.
How do you feel about the president conferring this national honor on the outgoing INEC chair?
I don't know why, but I feel it's too hasty. But again, it's a prerogative of the president to confer honorary title. Well, I don't know whether anybody has done 10 years. INEC, unless it was in the military era where there was no really elections. So the president can just be appointed during the Maradonic period of some people who were doing transitions without actually doing elections. So 10 years is a lot of time. He's a very lucky man. Most people don't even last their first tenure. Most people, some are not even allowed to serve out their first 5 years. But he came in 2015. I remember that the first time he came, there was a lot of wobbles. Elections were inconclusive. Edo was inconclusive. Ekiti inconclusive. In fact, there was one time when I was in Lagos, and I called it, maybe INEC is not an inconclusive electoral commission, because there was always something inconclusive about it. But I think after a while, was able to pick up and was able to stabilize. But again, Nigerians are also will not forgive him for promising us so much, especially in terms of technology in 2023 election. And then at the last minute, he pulled the rug off the feet of many Nigerians. That is something I just hold against him. And that is a stain he will have to live with.
But with that, does he deserve the honor? Or this?
I've told you that the honor is sometimes it's not about those who deserve or who don't deserve. When you see the list of honors, you don't find out it's prerogative of the president, because you want to. What's the criteria actually? There's no solid criteria about these things. It's about that the person has contributed to national development or national social trajectory. And an INEC chairman has contributed to national development in the political development of the country. But I think also we should look at how to review our this. But sometimes everywhere in the world also, these national houses are political patronage all over, both in the UK, in the US, Canada, everywhere. They're all political patronage.
That's right. Now, another cause for concern is this snippet of information. Now, his second 5-year term is set to officially expire in November this year. But Professor Yakubu has now handed over his leadership responsibilities. Based on your speculations, why do you think the outgoing chair handed over prior to the expiration of his second 5-year tenure?
I think it was directed to go on a terminal leave.
What is terminal leave?
Terminal leave, your time is going. Your tenure is expiring. So before, sometimes it's also used to, make sure that the handing over is smoother. The grounds are prepared before the new person comes in. A lot of things are tidied up. And 10 years does not mean that you must sit in your office till the last hour of the 10 years and wait until I was appointed November 10. Therefore, it's November 10, I will leave. No. I mean, you already, from November last year, he has been in his 10th year. Okay, so it is the very date that will be 10 years, and it's just few weeks to the tenure. So I don't think anything is wrong. You see, I'll be set to serve out his. I think some special elections are coming up, so it's good for a new fresh person be able to conduct those elections. Elections are coming out, I think, in Anambra State, and one other 2 elections are coming up. So it's good that he bows out now, and Nigeria has been kind to him, and then. Let him go and enjoy his retirement. But I don't know whether you have the same impact Atahiru Jaga has, where he's been called everywhere to deliver lectures, and Atahiru Jaga is a star. This, I don't know whether he will be able to have that kind of stature when he exits. But it's way to be seen. As the president will say, Nigerian's journey, wishing him good luck in his future endeavor. That's how they put it.
Yeah.
Circling back to the big news today concerning the science minister, why do you think President Tinubu so easily accepted his resignation? Because we did see in this time frame, documents started to recirculate, things that made the administration appear as if it condoned certificate forgery, despite his numerous statements about frowning at certificate racketeering in recent times. Why do you think he swiftly accepted it, if truly they had some kind of professional relationship?
At that level, as I said, at that level, you are not sacked per se. At that level, maybe we'll just be advised to resign. That will happen at the echelon of administration. When you want to be given, there's what you call soft landing sometimes. Because there was some arguments when the president said that Sunday or Monday, where it was reported that the president said that since the case is in court, that they'll wait for the outcome of the case in court. And some people started attacking that statement, saying the president has powers over all the intelligence apparatus of the country, including the DSS. And DSS, it should take DSS only a few hours to authenticate the story of Premium Times and know whether it's true or not. So why should the presidency wait till whatever the case? I think somehow they just, okay, let's get done with this, and they got to do what they have to do. And then in that case, you're always advised to resign, so that officially it will not be that you are sacked. Officially it will be, oh, okay, you are advised to resign. Also, so that is what happens at that level most of the time. Even when you are caught culpable, so depending on the relationship, it happens even in the corporate boardrooms, where if you have good relationship with the board, with the board of directors, sometimes if the MD commits some infraction, or chairman of board or whatever, it might just be slightly out of place. Can you just tender your resignation? You are advised to resign. So when you are advised to resign, you remember that advice is in quotes. It's not advice per se.
It's a directive.
Advice you are supposed to. It's supposed to be something, an opinion that you're supposed to take or not. So when you do that, and then it's a good supply. So on the national record, the person has resigned.
As all of this was going on, he still had firm, loyal supporters who even came out and started to drop documents and probably even implied that the UNNVC had gone ahead to fabricate the handwritten letter that seemed to be one of the bricks that broke the camel's back. So what do you think? His resignation, despite, like you rightly pointed out at the beginning, their ongoing solidarity and support, what does this resignation mean to his support base, both at the state and the federal level, seeing as he did it while they were still defending him?
Well, the issue is now is that there are 2 levels of followership. There's a level of followership as a person. People are following him as a person. And then people who are political, who are the party members. So the APC is still the APC. I get to the point now. And those who are following him as a person may be the people that will lose the most. Remember, there are structures already. And then when political things happen like this, there are going to be new dynamics. There are going to be disruptions. There are going to be those who will lose. There will be new entrants. There will be new power play. So that is why I said the part 2 of the blockbuster movie is just starting, because it is now the movie gets interesting. Many people will be affected, no doubt. Many will be affected. And that with this dynamics that is playing out now, we actually define what will be the outcome, the trajectory for the 2027 election in Enugu State, especially when it concerns gubernatorial and other positions. From rumors we are hearing about, political field, there will surely be new alignments and realignments, trying to merge people who are coming in with people who are already there, trying to concession. It's a time for meetings, concessioning, some people agreements, trade-offs.
Right.
So these are the things that will be happening in the coming days, and that's how politics goes everywhere. So it's not new. Politics remain. People come and go.
Okay, let's just get a brief reaction on this one. The Guardian. Abbas, Abia lawmaker clash over Nnamdi Kanu's health condition. I don't know if you watched the plenary yesterday.
Yes, I did.
Obi Agwacha, went back and forth with the Speaker of House of Representatives, urging him, that he has been trying to reach out to him regarding the health condition of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. As they stated from the law court, the FG is going to do their own intervention and carry out their experiments on him, by the way, which his doctors have already confirmed severally that, hey, he's having deteriorating organs issues and all that stuff, right? So, and the speaker telling him that this is not the right way to go about this, by the way. But he's saying that this is an urgent case. It's a matter of life and death, And I'll ask this question: are we toiling with the health of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and playing politics with it without paying keen attention to what is happening in Nigeria?
Well, I don't know. That case has been politicized, beyond judicial courtrooms. Because there have been so many judgments, telling whoever to release the man. So I don't know why they are keeping him, actually. ECOWAS court has said things, different courts have said so many things. And as of that yesterday's issue, I watched it, and the Ben Carlo, the deputy speaker, had to intervene at a point. Fortunately, that from he and Mazi Nnamdi Kanu are from the same state of Abia, and in the setting of in the plenary and all those, there are rules and ways to do engagements in the house. So I could see that when Honorable Ben Carlo stood up, he said that told the speaker, okay, that they are also part, that he is also part of this prayer, but that they will go back, reconstruct it, and then properly now present it. And the speaker did say that they will be given enough time to make their presentation. And so I just hope that this can be done just this week. Yeah, I mean, they can do that today, tomorrow, and then get it sorted.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ambrose, for your valued inputs this morning. It was great having you. And we'll watch and see how this falls out. Lots of stuff still left to see.
Yes.
Like you said, some people will go and get their, what did you call it, popcorn?
Yeah, definitely blockbuster.
In Nigeria, everyone should just grab and wait because there are so many movies.
Right.
It's out.
Why did you say movies like that?
Yeah, because 2027 is around the
You
corner.
said like it was an action-packed movie.
Everything happening in Nigeria right now is action.
No, this is thriller. This is a thriller.
So many movies are being acted out, and we just have to sit back, relax, and not enjoy. Just hope that everything is going to
Dr. Ambrose looks like he's going to enjoy. Thank you once again, Dr. Ambrose.
Thank you very much.
The Morning Show returns after this quick break. As like we said, we bring your insights from the government perspective on matters arising at the Enugu water facility. Do stay tuned.